Wait for that. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in reheating your own nachos.
Okay,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, but yeah, like I was saying, Charlie XCX reused the beat to 363 times on the album. You know what I
I did
mean?
pick that up.
And then made an entire remix album where she remixed even more work. So like even or Pink Panthers. Pink Panthers
Yes.
has a two-part album where
Yeah.
it's just like remixes with a bunch of people with completely different vibes. Like you can reheat your own, you can reuse your own concept as many times as you want. I think
Yeah.
that sometimes we think like it's just one and done. It's just like no, you that's how you build a collection of things, you know.
Yeah. No, I love that. I honestly I hadn't thought about it that way, but when you do art, it is like I did this thing in red, they wanted in blue. So yeah. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. As you know, this is the Emerald City Creatives podcast. Today I have Daphne with me,
Hi.
and I'm really excited to have Daphne with me here in the studio. This is our first time shooting in this studio, a little behind the scenes. This is hopefully going to be the Fishbowl's podcasting room. But today I'm here to talk about Daphne, their creativity. I just got through seeing some of their work in our Between Borders and Belonging show here at the Fishbowl, and it was amazing. And I'm sitting down to talk to them a little bit more about their creative history.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. So like we've had a chance to talk and get to know each other for a while. I first met you shortly after I started here at the Fishbowl for our Uptown Art Walk meeting.
Mhm.
And I want to say, I don't think I've ever said thank you, but thank you because you clued me in on like how people communicate what's happening up here.
Mhm.
And like since then, but I'm gonna get into you, but
Yeah.
like since then, something that really stood out to me is just like Uptown is like they have a whole vibe completely different from the rest of Seattle. Like there's just this energy that happens because you're right here in the footprint of the Climate Pledge. I started paying attention to like posters because you mentioned doing poster work to get people in the door. And there's just like so much. I went over to KEXP and like I'm like, oh, there's just like so many freaking events. And
Yeah.
this is how people are finding out. So I'm gonna kick this off by saying thank you for that.
No problem.
Um,
I love first, I do want to correct you. This is Lower Queen Anne.
oh yes, that was the other thing. That was the other thing. Yeah.
This is Lower Queen Anne.
Yeah.
I think like even that within the identity of the area is really, really important. I wish I remembered there's somebody in the area, they're very well known. Their name is Quinn. They used to be a bartender at Streamline, which is another one local institution, and then also at Montana Badlands now. This area used to be called something else, but Lower Queen Anne is essentially named that because it's below Queen Anne. you
Okay.
know, it's kind of being, it's like, hey, like we exist underneath this like rich hill of pretentious people. Like,
Ooh.
you know, it's there. This is where the servers and the bartenders and, you know, the union workers who work for the for Climate Pledge and the concert and the ballet, like you run around and you see ballerinas everywhere. You know,
Okay, I did notice that.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
ballerinas all over. It's adorable. It's 6:35.
Oh no, wait, something happened at 6:35.
No, this is just my 6:35 alarm.
Oh wait, why a 6:35 alarm?
I just never stopped it.
Okay, nice.
6:35.
It's okay. I have this mental thing where I used to work at a vitamin shop, and we have to send in our numbers at 4:40. And so here we are over a decade later, and I still remember 4:40. I'm like, oh, gotta send the numbers. Haven't worked there in ages.
No, the way that retail traumatizes us.
Yes, it
Ugh,
does.
we love to see it.
Yeah, the way I still fold clothes whenever I work walking to Banana Republic.
I used to work at Uniqlo.
Oh, what is?
Man, it was before. Well, I worked at the Uniqlo that was on Long Island. And but yeah, we had to fold all those freaking shirts by hand, man.
Yeah. Oh, which reminds me, you are not originally from here in
I'm
Seattle.
not from here. I am from Queens.
Okay,
I'm from New York.
so you went from Queens to Queen Anne.
I went from Queens to Texas to Queens.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's been a really big um that's been just a really big time for discovery. You know, I was raised somewhere that had a very particular core culture. Like, being a New Yorker, I'm inherently proud of that. Like
Yeah.
in some ways, I don't even identify as American. I identify as New Yorker.
Okay. I
But
feel you.
then going to a space like Texas where they don't identify as American either, they identify as Texan, and understanding that strong love and history of a space that I wasn't familiar with originally. It gave me a fresh look on what America is,
Mm,
because being from a place that's primarily a space of immigrants in a different facet, really, it doesn't prime me to go to Texas. I'll sit here and tell you that.
I mean, I've visited great hospitality in Dallas. I'm not
Amazing.
trying to go to Texas though. Like it's no diss to Texas. I got family in Texas, so I should probably.
Hey, no.
But what's going on right now? I'm
Yeah, I'm also good. That's one of the reasons why I left. And then I came here for work. I no longer do that work. Um, because I need all the energy I can to make art.
nice.
But I've really enjoyed my time in Seattle. It's been about 4 years now, and I've built an amazing community here. And I'm just stepping into the art scene, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. I've honestly, with your knowledge of Seattle, I thought you would have been here a lot longer. And I feel a little bit. I've been in Seattle proper since 2021, so I feel like I should know a little bit more, but I don't. So, and you've kind of taken that excuse away.
I just know how to understand a city.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, uh when you yeah, just understanding a city. Like, all right, like I know the bus goes here, and I know that this bar is here, and I know that these people convene here, and I've been invited here, and da da da. Da. Like you essentially, like the more you get to know people, the more spaces that you're invited to, and the more spaces you know how to navigate.
Does this come from your experience, like being in New York, or just
Yeah.
okay?
Just being from New York, but also being a chatty patty.
Okay,
Yes, I love to network. It's my favorite thing. I like to connect people. Um, uh, I like connecting people with the things that they need.
okay.
I like if I sit here and hear one person like, "Oh yeah, I really want to do printmaking." I'm like, "What type?" I know people who do this kind of printmaking. Oh yeah, I really want people who know how to do this. All right, don't worry, I know somebody who can do that. Um, and that's just something that I really, really appreciate because I like when people's needs are met, especially creatively. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, I just like to connect people. I also like to chit chat and go to parties. So
nice. That's awesome. I'm somewhere between introvert and extrovert.
mhm.
Since I've gotten into the arts, I find myself a lot more extroverted, but not so much to where I feel like I can go out to a party and be like, "Hey, I'm here." So it's really cool to see other artists who can do that. We're so tapped in.
The
Uh,
trick is to sit down and take out your sketchbook. People will come up to you and ask you what you're doing,
mhm.
and you will build a small crowd of people.
Really?
It's not yeah, because at that point, like, you're being it's about finding your charger outside, you know what I mean?
Say more. I like that. Your
When
charger outside.
yeah, when you go to social spaces, I have plenty of people who, can attest to this. I will sit down and do whatever I feel like. Like, so if that means going to a museum and pulling out my laptop and start to clickety clack, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Like, if I go someplace and I'm just, like, gonna look around, people will just naturally come up to me. I think that if you if you said to yourself and you're just like, "Okay, well, I'm in this space and I need to do what makes me comfortable." If art is that thing, people will notice that. If you wanna write a little bit, people will also notice that and ask you what you're doing too. But yeah, I think that I think centering what makes you feel comfortable, especially in a crowded room, will help you pull individuals to you more naturally.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that I can just take my sketchbook with me more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of pressure, but I can do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah. Low key.
Yeah.
A former friend of mine, sorry,
No, it's okay.
a former friend of mine, I used to be really, really shy about drawing in public, drawing on the train, but they drew everywhere. Literally, like, even at times where it seemed kind of inappropriate, they were drawing. They were always like drawing. They actually went to the Art Students League in New York. I think they worked there, also were a student there. So that's one thing. They're like, "Daphne, you gotta draw, you gotta draw, you gotta draw." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, sure."
What do you mean when you say like even when it's not appropriate they're drawing?
Imagine a scene, someone's crying. I feel like this person would be like, "Stay right there. Stay right there."
I realize we're at the funeral, but like you're the glow right now. You're
Literally.
insane.
Caravaggio is a rolling over this glow. Rolling over.
But also, like, I have a friend, she travels. This is one of like my like successful friends who I'm like, I want to get like you one day. But she travels and she does draw and paint. She does watercolor. She paints, she does watercolor as she travels, which is insane because she has time for watercolor.
I have time for watercolor.
And that's a segue. That's a segue. I was about to say.
I have time for watercolors.
Because the thing is, like watercolor and oil painters are like hired names when it comes to painting. And I'm an acrylics person myself. So this is not me stubbing acrylics. I am a poet, but there is a certain level of patience and like just vision you have to have as a watercolor painter to like know this is. I feel like you're kind of painting in reverse, or like the inverse, because you have to think about where your highlights are going to be, and then you have to kind of work darker.
I'm self-taught,
Okay.
and I think that through your process, you just okay, first of all, I do wanna sit here and say this, I do not keep the whites of my page. It's very rare that I do that because I don't like I do like sharpness, but I will use gouache if I need something to be sharp.
Okay.
With watercolor, I kind of allow the imperfections to exist because that's a part of the medium. But yeah, no, if you're impatient, get a hair dryer.
Okay. I have heard this before.
Yeah, but I like doing watercolor because it takes a little bit of pressure off. You get to breathe. You know what I mean? Um, with acrylics, I
You gotta go quick.
you do have to I use the slow drying medium. One thing
Yeah.
about me, I'm gonna use the mediums. I love a medium, a little fixative.
Yeah. There, I'll use mediums to like make it thicker, almost as if
Mhm,
it's oil,
mhm,
because I get the thickness of oil with the quickness of acrylic.
mhm.
I think that's my problem. Is I just try and like gotta get out, gotta get it out. But yeah.
I love to take a long time. It's actually a toxic trait. It's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to do social media because I'm like, okay, come with me. How long do you think it's going to take me to finish this painting? Who knows where my phone is during this process for me to record it?
Yeah.
And also it takes like some days, like for instance, a piece that I'm working on. Well, I finished working on face plant that's going to be on display for Altered Roots on the 13th and on the 19th of June. That one I did like a 9 hour session to bust the majority of it out, and like then now I've been doing like 2 hours here, 2 hours there. You know,
Yeah.
I'm bopping around on it. So how do you capture that in real time?
That's a good point.
Like, that's the honest part of my process is that it is me perched like a bird, like this. Yes, yes.
I feel like if you're gonna, okay, here's my thing.
Mhm,
This is what I want to get to with my social media.
mhm,
Is one day when I get back to having time to paint, I just want to go on. I want to have like a Twitch.
mhm.
And then Twitch, I feel like it rewards you for like the long streams. And so then I can just do everything in real time, just all my painting, all my stuff, real time, and just have Twitch people.
I go on Bigo.
What's Bigo?
Bigo is I feel like okay, this is so funny. So I watched this like 54-part series about this cult leader named Nature Boy, and he was yeah, yep. So I was like, if he could make $20,000 a month, I can too. Tell you what, I went on there, I made friends.
But that's how
Just like fucking whole story. I think I would be a pretty good cult leader. I would try to make sure that everybody had insurance. And you're allowed to keep your kids. Don't worry, you don't have to leave them at home. But we will, in fact, have to put all of our debit cards in a bowl.
I get you. Wait, to everyone who's using the debit card?
Yeah, we're all gonna, or honestly, cash out pool. I feel like
Okay.
I think
I
that
think
that will work.
cash out full.
We have to practice.
I need to know and see how much is on that debit card before I trust that debit card.
You're
So
supposed to hear me like, "Ah,
I got it all. I got it made.
it's okay. Actually, can you like if you have access to this land in Costa Rica, can you like freak that?"
Wow. That's my thing. The whole nature point.
But you know what's so sad? I think that at that time, I think it was like 2016, 2015. Oh man, don't use that even within itself is I have strong feelings about.
Yeah.
But like we can save that for later. But like at the time, like I think that if we think about the vulnerability at the time, like 2016, Donald Trump just got voted in office. People are feeling
Yeah.
this like sense of loss. People are feeling like unseen, unheard. And, you know, a cult that tells you, oh, if you come with me, I have all the answers in the world of the world. And like let's be honest, he's a handsome guy. So like
He is, but
the thing is
at
that
what cost? The
at
highest.
what cost?
I
Because they couldn't even get on the plane.
I forgot.
They couldn't get on the plane.
Yeah.
It was just like, ugh, no. It smells like nickels, quarters, pennies, and dimes there, and we don't appreciate it.
Um, I actually just realized I totally forgot I survived the cold.
Oh my gosh, how is that? That's kinda cunt. Sorry.
It's so, and I say that to agree with the point you made earlier about 2016. Yeah, I did in fact survive a cold. I don't tell a lot of people about that because the people who are part of that are still a part of my life because we're related. But it was like religious. It was like hyper control, hyper. But
Was it based in Christianity?
yes.
Mhm.
Um, but the thing is, there's some beauty to it. But what I didn't realize until I was giving this speech about Pride Month and growing up gay and having to escape all of that was the fact that they turned to what they turned to. I think they turned or they turned like somewhere in the 80s. And this happened in response to all that was happening in the world. And this cult gave them certainty. And this isn't even my parents. This is like
The cousins or something?
kind of. So what happened is the church that my great great grandfather started was really chill. Like they knew their Bible in and out. The people that knew their Bible were kicked out, and then the people that wanted to put themselves up in power stayed. And my father stayed. My mom married into it. My mom was able to escape, but since everyone is literally my family, my dad's family, I was talking to my mom, and it's like he didn't really have a chance. And where we grew up was also a sundown town, so all of your safety comes from being in the black church. We found other black churches, but his family was all there. So,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing when it goes to Nature Boy. Also, this is an artist podcast. This is not about me, so I'm gonna switch it back.
I mean,
But
this is all about art. Art is a part society is impacts our art.
yeah,
So
but to all that to say is like I do kind of understand and kind of feel bad for people who get caught in cults because like there is something nice about it. Now I do when I set up with like they've since disbanded. They are more open and accepting of people. They're not super hyper religious. The person who runs the church now is actually the son of the person that was pushed out. And not only have they brought back better teaching, but now they're like inclusive of
inclusive.
other faiths and stuff like that. So yeah,
So it's gone like
completely
more like
changed.
non-denominational kind of
Yes,
say.
yeah, no, completely changed. I still have trouble going back and visiting because family, but um, I'm really proud of the fact that they admitted that they were wrong.
Yeah.
So, but I want to get back to you and art.
Mm.
um,
Now me saying Colts are cut, and you're like, actually, that was traumatizing.
here's the thing. Um, if I hadn't gone through what I went through, which is the part that I will say is pretty cool. If I haven't gone through what I went through, I want to be prepared for the stuff that I have to face today.
Yeah.
Like if I get into a situation where everyone's like, you have to kind of go with the group,
No,
especially at work, I'm like, I'm out. There's job applications at this other location. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I see the cult here.
yeah. I'm not. I am not a person who, if I see, okay. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, I'm a big picture person and a small detail person.
Yes.
So I have a really easy time conceptualizing an entire thing
Mhm.
and then seeing where the fall through in those things are,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is a blessing and a curse. Some people think that it's a lot of work sometimes seeing like the details and things and working on the details and things, but I just don't. I allow my watercolor practice to be sloppy. I don't like my technical practice to be sloppy.
Ooh, I like that.
T.
Yes. Yeah, like you said earlier, you let it be the medium that it is.
Yeah. There's a time and a place to sit here and have things that are like real sharp,
Yeah.
but like I'm not a graphic designer, so I get to enjoy the page. I get to enjoy the page.
Okay. Did you have to here's my question. Did you have to, like, grow up with that idea of, like, Black excellence in everything that you do?
Um, I was not necessarily taught the concept of Black excellence. When I think about the concept of Black excellence, it's already intrinsically okay. Let me go back.
Yeah, and,
I was
I'll
raised.
explain why I'm asking that too before I'm asking because the fact that you're able to let things go and, like, be what they are
Mhm,
kind of, kind of goes against that, which it can be unhealthy, by the way.
mhm.
And so, like, to experience that freedom, I guess I'm trying to tap into, like, how did you break away and, like, how do you experience that freedom?
I grew up I'm really, really appreciative of where I grew up and how I grew up in Queens. I had amazing educators. I had majority Black educators. I was surrounded by an amazing community. Like on some, like if you were out on the block and you weren't supposed to be, yeah, somebody was going to tell your mom. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
I was raised with just a lot of affirmation, and I realized that other people were not was not raised with that. Can I sit here and say that I was raised with the concept of Black excellence the way that I witness it now, which I feel like is intrinsically connected to Black capitalism? No.
Yeah.
Um, Black American success? Yes,
Mhm.
because my parents are from Haiti and they immigrated here so that I could have a good life. You know what I mean? Um, but like the way that they see a good life is to go to school, get good grades, and then become some type of licensed professional,
Y
or start your own business, which is the route that I'm taking now.
Wait, licensed professional or starting a business or both?
Starting my own business. Well, how I say this, I will become a licensed professional in a lot of things. Like I think that I'm gonna end up becoming a lawyer for fun when I'm in my 40s.
Yes.
Just because why not?
Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah.
Who's stopping you?
Oh, and that's the thing. I don't think I learned that until much later in life,
Yeah.
that there isn't really anyone I mean, there's people there to stop you. They can try,
Mhm.
but there really isn't anyone there to stop you but yourself.
I think that I because I don't want to say make it seem like I've always been like this. I have not always been
No,
like
well,
this.
let's get into it. Tell us how you got to
I
there.
I had you know what it was? I went through a lot of inner turmoil as a teenager and a young adult because I was fighting against what I wanted to be while trying to still be what society and the spaces that I was in,
Yeah.
wanted me to be, and feeling betrayed by not being feeling seen by as who I was, but not also realizing that I didn't have the conviction to be who I was for real. So I had to sit I was going essentially, I was waffling with this concept of being, like, perceived as very strong and, like, some people perceiving me as bubbly and some people not perceiving me that way, and, like, even, like, feeling panicked well, very much being panicked and plagued, when it comes to the concept of being perceived. And, I at some point, I was like, well, if first of all, I made a couple rules. Number one, no one who hasn't tried to do what I'm trying to do can tell me what to do.
There you go.
You can't give me advice.
Yes.
I mean, you can, and depending on who you are, I will take it with a grain of salt or I'll take it not. But like there's a lot of people who haven't tried, who will belittle
Yeah.
what you've tried, who will sit here and say it was impossible, who never even thought of themselves having the possibility to try to move forward, to pour in that extra time, like to sit here and not go to sleep on time so you can finish that thing, not go to sleep on time so you can sit here and get out that chapter of writing, not go to sleep on time so that you can sit here and get that painting done. You know, there are a lot of people who didn't have it sacrifice to be their fully actualized self, telling you to cut yourself off short, and that's so that everybody can be at the same height. So you need to sit
Yes.
here and, grow to your heights, and that's okay, you know? Also, number 2 is my next one is, you know, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Whomever said that, please give them a pat on the back because I have nothing else to give them. I have nothing else to give them. But like that, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take is
Yes.
the realest thing because it helps you get used to rejection. While you never get completely used to like as a person who has neurodivergences, rejection sensitivity is something that you just deal with naturally, but you have to get used to soft no's. Once you get used to soft no's, you kind of build a callus to no.
Mhm.
So you are able to also discern what no's feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Is that no? Was that no? Does that no have a little bit of spice, or was that no just an honest no? Or also, is that a no that you just had to hear because there was no other option?
Mhm.
And then lastly, why not? And you always have to have a
Yeah.
friend that'll sit here and say, why not? And you go back and forth and why not? And now the flight is booked, or the idea is being made, or the book club hasn't started. I think that being around people who encourage your hedonism,
Mm,
your exploration, is so important.
yeah. Which the theme of hedonism has kind of started coming up a lot lately.
Yeah. It's because we just got out of tourist season.
Well, but here's the thing. I've always thought hedonism was like this bad, evil thing.
That's because you have church trauma.
Yes.
Cheers. Cheers for church trauma.
But then I started reading it like, oh, it's not what I thought it was. I actually still am trying to understand what it is, the definition. Because it takes me a long time to understand that there is joy that can be had with church talk. But
Yes, free will.
it is something like, oh no, you can actually search out the pleasures and it's not inherently bad to like, hey, I want to indulge in having a spa day or this bag or the things that don't me pleasure. And it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and honestly, like for instance, I'm a person who has realized I want to have access to a pool
Hmm.
or a sauna. I
Yes.
have to have access to those things. And I know that some people would sit here and say that that's privilege or that it is. And I'm grateful to be able to have that privilege to sit here and even know that, floating in a pool is the only way that my mind can fully be quiet and I can get into an actual meditation. And being in a sauna is one of the things that will release some of the pressure that is internal in my body. That
Yeah.
is a privilege. And I really appreciate it. And I'm able to sit here and say, I need that.
As a Taurus, I feel that deeply.
Yeah.
So,
As a Libra, I live it deeply.
yes. So,
You know
speaking
your
of
birthday came.
yeah,
We belated.
thank you.
Yeah, yay, good day.
Was the sixth.
The 6th?
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
I am
Mental note. I have Cynthia reveal it.
I just realized there's like I don't have my long nails on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been learning how to play guitar, so I could cut my nails.
I don't have nails right now. Part of me wanted to have like my nails and big nails done for my wedding,
Mhm.
but I'm also realizing that we're wedding. So we'll
I
see.
didn't need anything.
The way I was going though with the nails, I probably wouldn't have like a formal wear.
Have you met my friend Hannah the barber?
Not yet.
It's
You mentioned.
oh yeah, they have like amazing nails.
Yeah.
Like their nail tech is Spain. So actually,
I might have to hit her up. Wait, hit her or
yeah.
her? I might have to hit her up because part of me does want to have like my nails all done. But
Yeah, also for the haircut, Valiant is a really good barbershop.
yeah,
Locally owned a barbershop.
well, that would be a great barber shop if I didn't already have a barber who I would never cheat on with another barber.
Don't let
Or
your barber keep you from hiring your hairdresser.
ooh, I can have a barber and a hairdresser?
Yeah, they will wash your hair. When's the last time your barber washed your hair for you?
They've never done that for me.
Exactly. Go find some. Don't let your barber stop you from finding your hairdresser.
I don't know. Like, can I? Sorry, I don't want to bring it back to art eventually,
It's
but
okay.
I was like, there's this black culture thing where like I would never cheat on my.
First of all, I mean, I agree, but the thing is that also I have no dog in this fight. I do my own hair. I've been doing my own hair for years. Yes.
I would have sworn you went somewhere to get it done. Because your locks are so they're like first of all they're even, like proportionally with all of the other ones. So yeah, no, I was like, it doesn't look like unless you're a professional, people puts it themselves. But
My godmother, um, that they owned a hair salon on North Avenue in Brooklyn, on Flatlands for like years, for decades. And yeah, I grew up in the hair salon. I was a hair
okay,
salon kid. So I used to like look through the hair books all day, you know, and I learned a thing or two.
yeah. But see, that's what I miss is like you go into the barber shop, you'd say whatever you want off the chart. There was just like a whole culture. And again, that's kind of what I want to do, like the hair show. Is like I
Yeah.
want to bring that culture.
That's something that was, I think that we touched on it a little bit about, because I'm going to submit to curate a show in the U-Haul gallery.
I've heard about that gallery.
Yes, I want to
Yes.
submit something like that. Like well, I wanted to sit here and curate it so that I can just draw black men and black masked people like being cute and happy.
Yeah.
But I was gonna draw like the barbershop hairstyle thing. Like maybe like 9 squares.
Yep.
Usually it's like 18, or like it's like
If
pretty
it's
big,
big.
like for like
I've seen them
20
like
something.
20 something. Yeah.
Yeah. The classic.
Yeah. But I want to bring it back to you. There's a question I ask every artist on the show. And what word sums up your artistic experience in this moment?
Match.
Match. Tell me more.
Like a match that struck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like when I think about this moment as an artist for me, I feel like a match that's literally in the process of dragging across that like that red space.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly how I feel. Like it's like, oh, and like there's this anticipation. There's like this smell in the air. It feels like I'm about to be on fire.
Nice.
Like, and I'm very, very excited.
Awesome.
But you never know. Sometimes you strike your match and you're just like, "Oh,
Oh, gotta strike another.
I gotta"
But that's the
but
thing.
sometimes you gotta strike it. Sometimes you just gotta strike it until it goes.
Yeah.
And hell, it might not even be that matchbook. You might have to get a new match. Start over another matchbook. You know.
Yeah. I don't think it was on the podcast. I think this was like pre us during the recording, but you were talking about AI and the iterative process and the fact that you, with one of your recent works, you were trying the piece again and again and again until it got to where you wanted.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of like the match. It's like you get to retry and keep going. Um,
Yeah. I think, well, first of all, I want to make this very clear. Fuck AI. I wish if you could zoom into my face in post, please.
I was going to say, I don't know how to do that yet,
Okay.
but
So fuck AI. I hate AI so much. Like, I don't know. It makes me sad because people genuinely think that AI is smarter than them.
yeah,
And it's like, have you Googled something recently? It's not telling you anything that you're asking. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, even in that context, I, as an artist, don't like AI because number one, it's a thief. Even though, you're supposed to steal like an artist, I completely get that concept, but like I believe that art is an amalgamation of all of your experience and how you feel, unless you're creating it for somebody else to represent the way that they feel. But there's no amount of teaching something artificial that will be able to recreate the human experience, you know?
I do want to say I listened to listen to the book still like an artist.
Mhm.
I don't I don't know. Like in the face of AI, I kind of struggle with calling it stealing as an artist. Like I feel like
I think it's
I was gonna say I feel like there is actual theft in the art community, and it's often stealing of cultures and commodifying it. But in terms of like I'm inspired by this person's work and I'm gonna try and make it my own or put my spin on it, I feel like that's more like community and conversation. And I again, AI I feel like undercuts that and cheapens it. Like you can't have conversation with other artists that
mm,
way.
you can't have conversations with other artists. You can't pull from multiple sources of media.
Mhm.
It's only image media that's been pulled from other image media, but you may not understand the sorry.
No.
AI might not understand the reference of the reference of the reference that the original artist put into this like fandom based art thing that is has been stolen and then like manipulated by AI, you know what I mean? Like even I was reading this book called We Love You Bunny, and there's a moment where the characters tap into their hive mind, and it just speaks about it informed a piece that I'm going to do soon actually for base camp. uh, it was just speaking about how when it happened, when they finally come together, it felt like this pink, warm, like, feeling came over the character that was speaking, and it's just like, AI wouldn't have known why I'm gonna sit here and put this type of effect on this type of image in this moment in time, you know? The AI is not even truly reference
Mhm.
at some point, you know?
Yeah.
Because even reference requires like media literacy. You know what I mean? The thing
Yes.
AI is
Yes.
media illiterate.
Yeah.
So it can't create media because it doesn't understand media.
Yes. Exactly that. And it's also kind of frightening. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to take it away and I'm bring it right back.
Yeah.
I listened to this documentary called Only Fantasy,
Mhm.
and I hate to bring it up, but it talks about it's going into like the unhealth. There's like a whole conspiracy thing behind OnlyFans, um, which is insane, but it ties into AI because it talks about um, there are men and farmers who then take people's images and turn them into bots
Mhm.
and just farm it out to like, get other people trapped and addicted to it. And I liken this to art because there's so many people who are like, oh, I'm just going to use AI to kind of create my art. And then they're farming other people's potential, other people's talent, what they're putting in. Because this is a sex worker positive show. We are not going to discourage people
We
to use
do.
their time and talent.
We sure do.
But really, what you see happening with OnlyFans, these bot farms, is they're taking other people's time and talent, what they've done, and they've used it to completely separate from the person and get money for other people. And the same thing with art. They're stripping it away from people, pumping it out. I'll use a case closer to mind. Um, People are using it to like create posters and flyers. I see this happening throughout Seattle. Um, as I look into a mirror, um, it wasn't me, but someone close to me. Um, and it's kind of hard to tell when they're using it. And you also realize that you're taking a job from someone else who's an artist who could be creating. You take away that relationship when they ask you the iterative process why you want to do what you want to do. Um, and I think it wears down community, bringing back to still like an artist. This conversation that we're having, kind of do it with AI.
You did it.
Yeah,
You know. Also, when it comes to like AI posters, oh my god,
so bad.
it's so bad. Like you can't find a little. You can't sit here and be like, I think I want this type of text and look that up and be like, I think I like these kind of pictures and look that up and put it on a
I'll be honest, I'm really bad at it. So
okay. That's
um,
why you need a graphic designer,
I
not an
do
AI lover.
I do need a graphic designer.
Um,
Whoa.
but that was a little bit shady. But no, actually, I'm okay with that. I really don't like AI, and it's really, really frustrating for me that people try to justify. I there's like high level uses where I understand why people would use it, but unfortunately, it's become a consumerist product. It's not within like the technical field anymore. It's been given to the masses. So now it's you can't regulate that really.
I
Um,
do want to do a quick disclaimer.
yeah.
I did not knowingly use AI, by the way. If you know me in person, I'm notoriously bad at picking out and finding AI and things. It's a problem. I'm trying to do my best.
You gotta go outside.
I do go outside. I just can't tell
I do.
unless it has actually like I'm a very trusting person to begin with.
Yeah.
And so that's my other beef with AI is I'm a trusting person to begin with. If you come to me with a stop story, it's gonna be hard for me to turn you away. And there's a lot of AI stop stories out there.
Yeah. I limit my time on Instagram to 2 hours a day.
How do you do that?
I went into my Apple settings and put a time limit on it because I'm like, and now it's gotten to the point where I'm using Instagram for under 2 hours a day because I feel guilty, but whenever I see here and see that time limit, and I'm like, 15 more minutes. Sometimes I do need the 15 more minutes to sit here, and if the 15 more minutes are, like, work related, then that means it's work.
Yeah.
So but I still even with that, I try to sit here and respond to work related things on my laptop, so I can completely separate it from me being on my phone, and I've been on my phone for less. Um, but also that keeps me from I think there was one okay. There was one image that was AI, and I was very confused. I was like, "This lady's not" I'm like, "This lady's not making a bean burrito. There's no rice in this burrito." And then I was like, I just sat here and watched the full AI video. Also, another thing, I remove auto translation. Like they will like Instagram has implemented auto translation. So you have to like look at the bottom of videos. The more you turn it off, they'll stop pushing it to you.
Okay.
But I do get videos in Spanish and in English because I'm like Spanish too. But AI, I feel yeah, the more you ingest everyday objects and everyday things, the easier it is to detect AI in my experience.
Yeah.
So you need to be around more people who are crying in real life. That's the only way to mitigate that.
Ooh, dang.
I'm joking.
No, 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 no. But I like that.
No.
Uh, no, not like that. I like people crying. It's just there is, and it goes back to like kind of where I'm at with the AI of things, and just I feel like the techinization is not a real word of the world. It's that we forget that to be human is to be inconvenienced by other people around you, and there's nothing wrong with being inconvenienced because that's when you get to have real encounters. You get to discover something new.
Don't understand how much your time is worth.
Yeah. For example, and this is, I want to clarify, this is not me complaining at all. With the exhibition that happened last Friday,
Mhm.
I had a clear plan as to what was going to look like, what was going to happen down to the minute. So many different things went wrong. And at the end of the day, so many things went right that I could not have planned with all my, and it's because people were people. Things went wrong. People got in each other's way. And it made an exhibition that we here have not seen happen before in a long time. And it was one of our best ones. And AI is going to take that away from you. Over optimizing things is going to take it away from you. Sometimes the best things in life happen otherwise.
Unoptimized.
Yeah.
Like I think I do want to go back and say like just circling back to Lower Queen Anne,
Yeah.
one thing I really, really appreciate about this area is all the DIY posters.
Yes.
I know so many people like
Yeah.
I shout out to Repro Seattle and Cole. I've watched them make their posters by hand, literally just like working it out, just using photos that they've gotten on their own, using photos that they're referencing from other things, wanting to get into like actual like to like making it 2D and then making digitally editing it to make posters.
Nice.
Like I really, really appreciate um the DIY of it all and being uh being a professional, I'm not gonna say hobbyist, being a multidisciplinary artisan.
Ooh,
um
multidisciplinary. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes, aka you need that, I got that.
Hmm.
I fear I do know how to do too much, but like the DIY of it all, like there's so much character in the things that we do by hand. I forgot how that was relevant to the question that you went to
Oh,
before that.
we were talking about how you were talking about the DIY-ness of um, Lower Queen Anne
Yeah.
and the fact that, yeah, AI can't replicate it.
But like, I guess going referencing back to your show, like the personhood of it, I love like how much personhood there is in coincidence and inconvenience. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, like, is it annoying? Absolutely, sometimes. But more often than not, you being outside for a little bit longer, even though you're a little cold, you're gonna have a good night. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I know you're so tired, you don't want to go to your friend's house. But you don't realize that, yeah, actually, I did need to sit here and go to my friend's house at 8 and leave at 2 a.m. because we needed to talk, because we
Yes.
needed to kiki, because we needed that time spent. I think that there's a level of humanness that just doesn't people just don't want it to exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. People are like craving humanness, but in this very, very packaged kind of way. Like, I want to be around people, but it has to be around a paid event. It has to be around a paid event. Um,
A
you
paid
know,
event, walled off. I need to be in the VIP section.
yeah,
I need to curate what exactly is going to happen down to the minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
And God forbid they don't play that. If they play that one song that I don't like, then it's gonna ruin my entire night.
Mhm.
That is also something. Being able to cope with the inconveniences. Being
Yeah.
able to cope with, well, that used to be a big thing. Ugh. I used to be one of those people where I was like, if one thing went wrong or I didn't get my way one way, it's the end of days. But unless
It's
I've grown up.
but also it's very Seattle.
Yeah.
Like now that I'm out in events or kind of working customer servicey, um, or even like I'm an HR professional. It's very like I didn't get my way. The world's ending. I'm going to end everyone else's world. And I'm like, "No, it's not gonna-"
It doesn't have to be that way.
yeah, and you're giving away so much power. You're giving so much power to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so much, like, I feel like also like there's a strength in knowing that you're a vibe.
Yes.
If you're a vibe, then no matter what like happens, you're good because you're the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
you know?
No, like you said, you're the vibe, but sometimes you're the whole vibe. Yeah. And as an artist, we get to create that whole entire vibe.
Yeah. Um, I love the concept of curating a vibe. Like for me, like I always try to describe myself. I'm like, I want to represent the ambiance in the room. Like, you know what I mean? Um, and I feel like with Seattle, um, well, I have a lot of hot takes about Seattle. And maybe
But
we could save that. Wait, what?
I was gonna say, what are your hot takes that will not get you canceled? Because I don't want to get you in hot. Like I don't want to do the podcast where people come and get in hot water.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Hot water. I'm a Sagittarius rising. Eat it up. No, no, no. I think that this is a pretty lukewarm take. I'm so I love the stranger. I do. That little thing about, oh, we're getting bodegas. No, we're not. They're not bodegas, they're not corner stores. Seattle can't have bodegas and corner stores. That is eliminating an entire history of these things. You're not gonna have a bacon, egg, and cheese. You're not
Yeah.
gonna have a bodega cat. You don't even have the Dominicans or Puerto Ricans and Yemeni people to have these corner stores.
So here's the thing. Like I grew up going to Puerto.
But that's
We
the
didn't even say it. We didn't even say it that way. It was like the kind of stuff. Like I can't even say it anymore. Like there's like this certain little accent we had in Bakersfield.
but Bakersfield, that's the liquor store though.
No, we always called it the corner store.
Just to call it the corner store?
Yeah.
Oh,
I grew up calling it the corner store. But here's the thing. I come here and I was like, I fucking it's the corner store.
that's the deli. That's the gourmet deli.
Yeah, I was like, this is a little too
And people need to appreciate that.
yeah.
Because, like, it's okay to have that one gourmet deli that's, oh my God, it's so good. In Capitol Hill, like right there, like on Denny, like that's a great local institution. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? We should be being happy and understanding like there are local institutions that already exist that don't need to be like a New York bodega. You don't need a bodega cat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need your bacon, egg, and cheese Aki style. You need your Seattle dog or whatever the fuck.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Well,
mean?
okay. Never
Um,
mind. I don't want to say
and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean that in a there's so much culture in Seattle that gets let go, and it's very frustrating for me to watch.
Mhm.
Like, like, Ada's closed. I remember when I first moved to Seattle, Ada's was one of the first places that I felt comfortable,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Um,
I just need Seattle. Just be who you are.
be who you are in your pride. Be
Yes.
who you are in your pride. No, but, like, Seattle has such a rich history,
Yeah.
and I think that, you know, stand in that. Stand in the fact of the matter that this place was rebuilt by, Miss Madame Lou herself. You know what I mean? What's a madame.
Yes.
So, like, that means that we're gonna have to sit here and get over this. Somebody has their titty out. Like, you have to sit here and get over that. It can't be like, oh shit.
I was gonna say we have,
Sorry. I forgot the mic was on. I forgot the mic.
but here's the thing, like Seattle, and if you've listened to the show, you know this. Seattle and Portland have a vibrant burlesque scene, and we have a vibrant black BIPOC burlesque scene now. Stand in that, and then Pioneer Square, yes, was rebuilt by Madam, but also the first gay bar. There's some problematic
Yes.
things. Also in Pioneer Square.
Gay bar, like one of the first gay bars in Pioneer Square, didn't it get like bought and turned into like some type of like religious center or something?
No, actually, so my old gallery was actually in that spot. Uh, yeah, yeah, it was
You
nice.
like, yeah.
But yeah, it was the first gay bar here in Seattle where you could dance above ground. I think it was also though, I'm not sure if there was. I think segregation might have been an issue. As I was digging through the history, which is why I was like, I need if we were ever to redo something, we'd have to address that.
Mhm.
But still, that is a major milestone. And Pioneer Square was a melting pot because so many different people could come there because it was the red light district. And
I feel like we need to, honestly, a red light district will go crazy.
that's the other thing too. Is like people say they don't smile at them, and I was like, I don't. I see a lot of people. I see. I've been in Seattle long enough to watch people long enough to see who you do smile at and who you don't smile at. And
I just don't smile at anyone,
you're smiling at me right now,
but that's different. We're
but
acquainted.
yeah, we're acquainted.
Yeah.
But like again, and this might be so. This is my small townness.
Mhm.
But I was like, smile at everybody because like people are having a bad day, and sometimes that smile is gonna. This is the only smile they see that week.
Yeah. I like to give people compliments. That's something that, like, I could tell people are not very much used to here. Like, I'm like, "Oh, no," like, one thing about New York, at least I know this, is that my headphones might be blasting. If somebody's telling me that my fit is hard, I definitely heard that.
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna get a thank you, you know? I think that a lot of people just aren't used to their world being disrupted. Even, like, people just talking to them on the street or, like, greetings or, like, acknowledging other people is, like, really, really hard, and that feels inherently based in, like, depersonalization, but I'm not a licensed psychiatrist, so well, psychologist in any facet, so I can't sit here and even say
But
that for real.
again, kind of hits on the AI of things. We've put everything in our own bubble, and we don't want to exit it. That we miss those interactions. We miss people telling us our outfit's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love when people give me compliments. I love giving other people compliments. Oh my god, because so many people, like, ugh, like, as much as I do agree that Seattle is not a fashion city, there is ooh, okay, I don't
Oh,
consider Pioneer Square, I would consider Art Walk the defining line. You don't get 1 day out of the month, 50 to hit at least 79% of the month.
then I take my statement back.
Right, because don't get me wrong, I love seeing the fits, but I need to see those fits every day, and that's inspiring, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm happy that there's a space where people feel especially Black people feel comfortable, existing. Oh my gosh, it's dandyism, you know?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it's so dandy adjacent, I love it, especially in a space where we don't get seen very often.
Mhm.
Um, uh, I I feel like
That
yeah, actually,
I'm
my
not gonna
feelings are done.
I'm not gonna go too far into it, but that kind of goes back to off camera where I was telling you about me and my fiance.
Mhm.
Is like I need him to understand people are not gonna see my complexion very often. When I go out, I have got to show out.
Mhm.
Like,
But also, there's a reason why I came out here in Birkenstocks and an Eddie Bauer half zip because they
oh,
need to sit. Yeah, I got this from a Seattle Artist for Palestine clothing swap.
nice.
Yes, yes. And then I bleached these myself, and now they're my art pants,
I do like,
DIY and everything. Oh, yeah. Anyway, but like because yeah, you also need to get used to me looking like a regular person too.
mhm,
I'm an artist. I I had to sit here and make sure that, my friends' cats were fed, and I had to run down here in the rain with no umbrella. You're gonna have to be okay with seeing Black people in any and every context, and it not be like something that like destabilizes like your state of being. You know what I mean? Like you can see Black people in power, and it doesn't like literally like it shouldn't rock your world like to see Black people or any type of person who the people of the global majority as in any sense,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah,
I feel like a lot of times because of that rigid thought process, because if we're being real, a lot of Seattle still kind of functions off of that like nuclear
mhm,
concept.
it does.
Even individuals who are in queer spaces, some of it's really, really really compulsorily heterosexual, like it still feels very, very square, even as a queer person navigating relationships in Seattle. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And it just is so fair.
mhm,
It's frustrating. Is it really worth it?
yeah.
You know?
Well, and here's the thing: if we're queer and we're already outside of like the binary of heterosexuality, why recreate it? We see it's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. Nope. Literally, that's been
No
like
one
one
else
of
can feel
my
it for you.
no one else can feel it for you.
Only you can let it in.
That's why I don't believe in spoilers. No one else can see that for me. You
Oh
can
my gosh.
explain it all you want. You could sit here and tell how I'll say this. I'm not trying to empathize with seeing the show. I'm trying to watch the show.
Okay, you're the only other person I have met who's okay with spoilers.
I don't believe
I
in it.
I don't believe in spoilers either. Since they were trying to teach me to read in second grade, I would go to the end of the book, I would read it, and I'm like, oh, this is how it ends up. Well, now I want to read the whole thing,
No, I don't know.
and I always get in trouble.
Yeah, that's fair. I used to get in trouble for using pen, because funny enough, I don't like the feeling of pencil on a page.
I get it.
I use coal erase pencils. Sorry, I use colored pencils that are erasable.
Nice.
You
Wait,
know,
are you
free.
left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
But I just use those because I feel like it gives a nice underpaint, like a nice hue,
Yeah.
when I paint over it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I was gonna say, I think we already put some away. I was gonna see if you still have your painting.
Oh, my prints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna like hold them up to the camera, but I just realized I think I put them all the way on the other side of the room.
And that's okay. And that is okay. They will be posted on the internet.
Yes.
Man, managing
What I'm
your
gonna do
sorry, guys.
is I'm gonna link all your stuff is gonna be linked to the show notes, so they're gonna see them.
Yeah. I when you nobody tells you how much you're not doing. Nobody tells you how much not art you're doing when you're making art. When you make art full time.
Yes. Yeah.
The amount of clickbait well, I call it any work on the computer, I refer to it clickbait clack. The amount of like computer work, setting up what like setting up websites and talking to people and making sure you have invoices and making sure you have this document and like for instance, I just dived in. I was like, I want to be a sole proprietor. No, I'm not. I've changed. Like now I'm an S corp. Like
Yeah.
it's like an entire like even understanding that, understanding what's tax deductible. Oh wait, that's my next new phrase, tax deductible, baby. One thing I love is a tax deduction. So like understanding like the business aspect of what you're doing and making sure that you're having those conversations, that you're networking, that you're learning from people, asking for people to teach you.
Yeah.
Um, Nobody tells you how much that is taking up your time. Hence why, like, there's some small formal things that I don't get. Like, I don't have an artist, like a mission statement, as you mentioned before,
No, I said an
or
artist,
artist
which
statement.
not to put you on the spot, but
No, put me on the spot
would you like to give them your artist statement verbally instead of having to?
because I feel like that's actually meeting an accessibility need.
Ooh.
T, just
Oh,
like voice notes.
yeah.
You can't sit here. If voice notes weren't meeting an accessibility need, then it wouldn't be available on Teams.
So then I will introduce you. I'll have you give them your artist statement. I present to you all Daphne and their artist statement.
Hi, my name is Daphne Bazil. My work is primarily informed by my experience navigating my identity as a queer person, as a femme person, as a Black person, being able to represent the intersectionality of interests and processing a lot of my the multiplicity of my personality and my interests through representing an alternative reality uh uh that encompasses psychedelic color use and vibrant colors as well, a lot of contrast not only in the work but also in theme and what else i I use multiple disciplines. I don't only use watercolor and watercolor wash, color pencil, oil pastel, oil paints, acrylic paints. Not only that, but I also write and I also crochet. I also knit. I am right now. I'm doing a lot of traveling to because eventually this is something that I would like to do.
Yeah.
Is curate a show or curate some research about how indigo dyeing is connected throughout the entire world and how I think it's also and maybe this is straying from artist statement at this
No, no, this is good.
um
Like I said, it's a statement, but it's also a manifestation. What is
yeah.
doing what you're working on?
Well, right now I am learning more about textile. My friend Nairobi, I love Nairobi, Hillary. They are an incredible writer, curator of spaces and such. And they went on a trip to Nairobi and they had their the tips of their fingers dyed indigo,
Wow.
and I was thinking about like Japanese indigo dyeing, and then I found out that in Mexico they also have indigo, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I loaded Peru recently, and then I'm like, there's also indigo in Peru. So I feel I my goal is to go volunteer and learn from as many indigenous spaces as I can about their connection to the color indigo. Later this year I'll be volunteering in Oaxaca.
Okay.
Um uh,
Yeah, you mentioned, yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. I'm going for like 7 weeks.
Okay.
I have to work on my Spanish because, well, it'll be rude for me to go to a place
Yes.
and expect them to,
Adapt.
adapt to me.
Yeah.
And then I'll also be doing the same in Cusco. Um, yeah, and that's just the beginning of the adventure, just to learn, have a more deep, intimate understanding of how indigo brings together the world and how I can portray that togetherness in art. Because I feel like in a funny way, Tina Fey in Mean Girls said, "Math is the same in every language." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, art is the same in every language." Because at the end of the day, regardless if you understand a language that somebody spoke, whether you saw who they were, whether any of that, when people see a piece that connects with them or they find connection with,
Yeah.
that is what connects the world. My goal in life and my goal in art is to teach people how to explore themselves and other people through media.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
and through indigo, because I also think it's very, very interesting how much of the world found indigo,
Mhm.
but Mother Mary is made with lapis lazuli.
Oh, tell me more.
Yeah, lapis lazuli is the original like French ultramarine.
Okay.
So, like, a lot of, like, a lot of the classical paintings actually, the Sam had a beautiful, exhibit, I believe, like, December, November, and it was all Mother Mary. It was during the same time they were having the food at the table, exhibition, but you can go and see that same very warm hue, that warm hue of the lapis lazuli that was ground. And I believe that was found after they started trading with Arab nations.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Very cool. And I think it's kind of funny that everybody else figured out indigo but the Europeans.
Yep.
Because imagine if, well, I mean, I imagine, I wonder, actually, no, indigo is archival. I wonder how the world would be now if Mother Mary wasn't made out of lapis lazuli, but was made from indigo instead.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Like a color that represents the rest of the world. Sorry. Oh, and I say that having worked for the Catholic Church for some time.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
I even
but
have, oh my god,
but
I love the Catholic Church. Oh, not because I like the church, but I just love Gothic imagery. Y'all ate that one up.
well, I'm not Catholic, so
Okay, cool.
I
Sorry.
can't take credit for it. But with their emphasis and their focus on kind of being able to appeal to the world and represent the world as it is wherever they go, which I'm not going to dig into it. That's just the mission as it is now. Also, publicly just apologize. So, as of now, starting now,
Sorry, now.
um,
Post apology.
to like post Vatican III. Never mind. That's a whole, my Catholics out there, that joke's going to hit. But if it were actually indigo that represented the rest of the world, I think that would really carry their mission when they're trying to make it less Eurocentric and more like this is Western. And also thinking about the fact that Catholicism, technically their faith started down in Palestine. So,
Yeah, free Palestine.
yes, free
Yeah,
Palestine,
free Palestine, free Sudan, free Haiti, free the Caribbean, free it all, free it all.
decolonize the world.
Decolonize the world.
Um, which also, as the church itself engages in decolonization, it would be nice to see Mother Mary done in indigo.
Yeah, I think that would be beautiful. I saw. I think that also textile for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Because textile is so universal as well.
textile is so universal. Textile is so intricate and specific depending on the country and cultures that you're in. Like for instance, I'm going to Ireland later in August, and I wanna sit here and see, like, I wanna see textile museum there because I'm like, "All right, like, put it on the floor, I wanna sit here and see this." If I'm able to, I might go to Scotland and see if I can squeeze that in, but, like, I genuinely believe that that's another thing, like, the things that people say, "Oh, that's homemaker stuff." You know what I mean? Like, the tossing away the importance of clothing and how it has been used to help us represent who we are. Personal styling and how it's been used to help us represent who we are.
Pass down ancestral stories.
One thing I can sit here and say, going through every place I go to the museum. Every everywhere I go to a museum. I I routinely go to Portland just to go to the museum, just for funsies.
Yeah.
Um, and one thing I can sit here and say is that every single culture was adorned with something.
Hmm.
Everybody was fly.
Yeah.
Or even if people were ass naked, they had something on. They had that shit on. Like, you know what I mean? Whether it might have been like a certain way that like they had shoes or like
Yeah.
jewelry or style their hair. Or like specifically using the things that are around them. Like I went to the Ano Museum in Lima, and there was like a poncho that was made exclusively out of the feathers of jungle birds. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't plucked from birds that were living. They just knew when to pick them up because when and where, because well, they lived in community with these animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, textile has such an intricate. I mean, history is woven within textile. You know what I mean? Um, so it's undeniable. It's undeniable that there's a link around the world through the individuals who are, keeping us clothed, but also the individuals who are traditionally uh, 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 given the task of maintaining the home, which is also maintaining culture.
Yeah. I want to say it's been amazing talking about all this because there's some through lines. Like, it's not only is it talking about decolonization when you really think about it, but it is looking at what actually unites us among cultures, among ethnicities, among geography. And because, as you mentioned earlier, people look down on it and say, "Oh, it's not this big of a deal." We devalued it, kind of like, again, not to bring it back to AI, but what we're doing with AI is what we've done with our heritage as it pertains to making color and pigments, to textiles, to the stories that they tell, and we forget we forget to be who we are. I'm going to throw it back to what we said about Seattle. We forget to be who we are, and that's what makes us special. In an attempt to try and emulate and take from other people or commodify it to make money. And so I appreciate you sharing all that.
Yeah. I guess would sum it up. Yeah, everything is that deep.
Yeah,
Is that deep for
everything
somebody?
is that deep.
Everything is that deep.
Yeah. And you don't find that out until you interact with other people and see what unites you.
Yeah.
What I like to do for all of my artists is I'd like to ask what song sums up your creative process? Or what do you like to listen to during your creative process?
I like to listen to brain rot.
What's brain rot?
I like to listen to things that I like. Okay. So recently, um, first of all, if it's on Tubi, I'm watching it.
Okay.
So I like to watch boxing like
Nice.
clips. And then also I like to watch cheaters in supermarket sleep.
Wait, Cheaters, like the TV show?
Hell yeah.
It still comes on?
Yeah, on Tubi.
I don't want to be on TV. Wait, it
Sure.
still comes on?
Yeah.
Oh my
Peter
god.
Guns is the host.
I don't
Oh my god.
I haven't seen that since like early 2000s. That show was so
And
problematic.
that is an archival piece of work.
It
I
is.
love cheaters. I love anything that shows normal, regular people. No, I don't need to sit here and see somebody with their face changed in one way or another, or their teeth changed in one way or another. These are regular people feeling regular love. You know what I mean? Getting their regular heart broken. And is it like great? No, but I think that most, even if we look at music, a lot of music is about getting your heart broken, right?
Yeah.
And then also, I think that to sum up how my creative process feels, it feels like Boom Bap by Doechii, and then after that, Nosebleeds by Doechii,
Mhm.
and then Pacers by Doechii, played in sequence. That's how it
Like,
feels
in that particular sequence or any sequence?
in that sequence. Because Boom Bap feels like it's a song about like, well, I'm doing what the fuck y'all are saying that y'all want me to do.
Mhm.
I'm doing it the way that I'm doing like I'm coming as an artist the way that you say that I should be an artist, and that's still not good enough. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And then Nosebleeds represents, well, I did what I wanted to do. I remember when Dochi posted, I'm gonna sit here and make a song every day for 30 days. And then that's how we got Alligator Bites Never Heal. I remember. So I like, I look good from the nosebleeds, bitch. Like,
But
and then,
also, I didn't listen to it for a while.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I thought she's been big this entire time. What do you mean that she wasn't already big? And then I like,
you speak to me.
yeah.
I also got to see Dochi live, which was incredible.
When? Tell me about this. This is awesome.
It was I saw them at Showbox. Not Showbox.
Yeah, she was here.
No, so I think it's whatever is in Soto next to the
I think that's a show.
I think that's Showbox.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of shows at Showbox because even before then I saw Turnstile. Long story short, Dochi put them down. Now I was like, oh, this is somebody who is. I've seen a lot of people live. I love live music.
Mhm.
That was one of the most incredible shows I've ever seen because I was like, this is a person who is dedicated to their craft for real.
Yeah.
And that taught me about what it looks like to be dedicated. Because sometimes I'm like, I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated. I'm flaky as hell.
I would push back against that only because I've seen the work you do and the passion you put in. I wouldn't say that you're flaky at all. If anything, I would say that like, there's this regimen and there's this like, I'm going to do what I need to do. But also, you're in the middle of your blow up.
Blow up?
What? Sorry, not in like a bad way. I mean like blow up in like
No,
in
like
terms
you
of like
feel?
being everywhere.
Yeah.
Because like this is like pre before we start recording. But you mentioned like all the different things that you need to make a calendar for all the different shows that you're in, all the different stuff that's happening right now. You're in the middle of that blow up season, so
Yeah.
it's not flaky at all. It's just like you gotta prioritize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I appreciate it. But that's one of the reasons why Pacers is the last song, because sometimes it is just about like screaming, going to party, and then just like letting it out. I definitely believe if you are okay, if you exist in any margin,
Mm-hmm.
you need to go somewhere and just scream.
Mm-hmm.
Don't scream from ah. No, you gotta scream from the you need to
Yeah.
scream like you're like from
From
the
the
base.
diaphragm.
No.
Oh no.
From the base of your pelvis. You
Okay.
need to scream. You need to let it out.
Okay.
And I think that Pacers is a really nice screaming song.
I want to thank you so much for being our first guest here.
Thank you so much for having me. This
Yeah.
has been an amazing experience.
And then the last part is where can people find you?
People can find me on the internet. I you can follow me on Instagram at daphstue, DAPHNE. Sorry, that's not it. Sorry.
That's okay. It's gonna be on the
All
show notes anyway.
right, cool. So it's you can follow me at daphstue, DAPHSTU, or Planet Daph, PLANETDAPH on Instagram. And I will be at several shows. I will be at Cutie Fest this weekend.
Yeah.
If you want to buy any prints, also you can contact me via Instagram to get any prints or the like as well.
Yeah. And then one last plug. Also plug Beauty Fest because they've been doing amazing work.
Yeah.
But you also do commissions?
I do not do commissions.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can pitch a commission to me and I can tell you if I'll do it. But to say that my commission's open would be false, just because right now I'm trying to build out some larger works that I'm doing. And I would like to center some of my own vision at the moment.
Okay. Say less. I like that. No, the power of centering your own vision. Yes. So unless you have the right price, and I'm talking 100,000, $1 million for a commission, centering your own vision.
I mean, like if you want me to like paint a wall, I'll do that for like 7 grand.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want me to paint a wall, sure.
Yeah.
Like the minimum has to be 5 grand.
5 grand. Five
Yeah.
grand, you can get a wall painted.
A wall painted.
Yeah. See, I'm here to do the sales. Like
Yeah.
that's my whole how I cut my teeth. So
Yeah.
thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all next time.
See you
Bye.
next time.